Welcome back to 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim's spoiler commentary, playthrough, and analysis. I am Hamburger Chariot. I am here with my best friend Mirth Mauser.
Hello, hello! We're finally back! It's been a little while since our last recording. I have updated my mic, we should both sound clean, and we are both excited to finally get back into this.
Yes, to the lovely people watching at home, it probably hasn't been that long since the last episode, but for us recording, it's been about 4 months? So, kind of a long time. Sorry about the wait. Like, we literally recorded the Miura Prologue, the fabled 2.5 hour analysis of Keitaro Miura's Prologue, our golden boy, all the way back in Pride Month.
When it was most relevant for our beautiful, beautiful boy.
Yes, because he's gay as all hell, and I am gay as all hell for him. But now, it's time for another extremely gay character, Yuki, the disaster lesbian.
She is the most lesbian-coded character that I have ever seen that's not confirmed lesbian. Like, they may have given her a canon male love interest, but I'm sorry, she's so lesbian-coded. Like, she does not care for the affections of men. She does not tolerate...
Aren't they literally canonically divorced?
She threatened it. I don't think they are, but I think they will be.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Shu, you deserve better.
They both do, let's be honest.
Yeah, they're just great characters individually that do not pair well.
Well, I suppose that's a level of realism to it. Two characters that get married and then they decide that, hey, we're not compatible at all. And we have a kid.
Yeah.
Well, enough of that mess. Let's just jump right into it.
I agree.
Alright.
No autosave. This is our second time recording this, and not having autosaved made this a lot easier to re-record it.
This must be it.
Yeah, we had so many difficulties with recording that we've literally spent the last, 4 hours across multiple recording sessions just trying to figure out all the problems. We finally have, so everything should be good now. But it does mean that this might be a less interesting episode, because we've kind of already done it.
Just a bit. I'll try to bring up a couple of the topics that I was interested in. Like how Yuki is best girl. I know this game has multiple best girls, and I will constantly change my mind depending on which best girl is on screen, but right now, Yuki is best girl.
Thankfully, I've been thinking about this game for long enough that while I do have several favorites, I do have an ultimate number one, both for best boy and best girl. The ultimate best boy is Keitaro Miura, and the ultimate best girl is Tomi Kisaragi.
No complaints. She is best girl. See, this is what happens when you have such a strong female cast. You can't pick a best girl.
It's not just a strong female cast, it's a strong cast in general. It is. Basically everyone is excellent.
Of course,
and then there's Iori
in the back. Of course, the track room's all the way in the back.
Yuki. I love Laura Post's performance for Yuki Takamiya. Like, she makes this character. She sells this character in her tone, in her delivery. Gosh, I love Yuki so much, and it would not be the same without Laura Post voicing her.
Damn, you sound like you love Laura Post. Does that mean you like all of her characters?
I like almost all of her characters.
Boy, which one do you not like, Mirth? Is it a certain redhead from a certain video game called Persona 5 Royal?
It's a character that I don't blame her for. I blame the voice direction. Because I know that girl can act. The instant smile on Yuki's face when she sees Natsuno.
No way! Yuki-chan?
You got tall, Nat-chan.
Your hair's so long, Yuki-chan. I almost didn't recognize you.
They're so cute!
They really are.
You're the one who told
This
me
is
to
a
grow
much
it
better
out.
ponytail girl with a red bow that she's voice acted. This one has a personality. I love Yuki.
Remember?
That's right. You stopped writing back to me. I was worried, you know.
Yeah, sorry. A lot of things happened after the move. But I just got transferred here. Today's my first day.
Really?
I knew you went to this school too. Figured I'd find you eventually. It's good to see your face again.
I really love the dynamic of how it's implied that it's been several years since the two have spoken to each other, and they just immediately pick back up, like it's never been different. Like, they were talking to each other yesterday, is the vibe that you get from them, even though logically you know it's been years. I love best friendships that are that close. That's really cool.
That's what I was gonna say, the same thing. Like, that's how you know they're best friends. Like, it doesn't matter how much time they've spent apart. Like, the second they meet each other, yeah, it's like they never left each other's lives. And I really want to highlight how warm and happy Yuki is around Natsuno, and she doesn't talk to any other character like she does to Natsuno. Like, not only can you feel that they are best friends that have grown up around each other, you can tell that this is the only person she genuinely loves and can kind of be vulnerable to, if that makes any sense. Because she puts on such a harsh and tough exterior to everyone else because she doesn't really like people. But she loves Natsuno, and you can feel that just in her voice.
And I think it's especially true because at this stage of the game, you've already seen a decent amount of Yuki interacting with a fair few other characters, and it's never anywhere near as positively. You really get the sense that Yuki treasures Natsuno in a way that she doesn't treasure anyone else. And it means that it does a very good job at selling you on the idea that her search for Natsuno will be the crux of her story arc. Because, of course, this is one of the most important things in her life. When do we ever see her this happy with anyone else? It's really natural and makes it feel like you can make a story arc that's primarily about the search for someone else, and it's not boring or forced. This is one of the things I love about this game. It manages to so effortlessly and so efficiently characterize and throw so much information at the player, but it's so efficient with its time. The fact that this is the most complicated plot I've ever seen, with so many different moving parts and character interactions and dynamics, and it has only 40 hours to work with. It does so well. I love this game. Can you tell? I made an entire series analyzing it.
Only 40 hours, huh? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's only
it feels
40
longer.
hours.
It feels way longer.
Versus Persona 5 Royal, which is like 140 hours. Or Umineko, which is 240 hours.
Oh yeah, I was
never
going
took
to
you for a
say,
track girl.
Sorry?
when you were going on about their dynamic and efficient storytelling, it made me realize technically Natsuno and Yuki don't have too many one-on-one scenes together. They do have a few, but not too many, and yet you never for a second don't understand how close they are and don't feel that urgency that Yuki does to get Natsuno back, as well as Natsuno's as well as Natsuno's closeness to Yuki and her route. Like, their scenes together that they get are so strong and are so well character defined with how close they are, that you don't need more than a few to be emotionally invested in these two and their relationship.
Because pretty much every scene where the two interact before Natsuno goes missing, well, I mean, we're watching it. Most of the scenes they get are after they reunite. At least chronologically. We do get to see a little bit, like in the destruction battles before this point, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. This is making me think, like, I wish we got more scenes like this with Megami and Kisaragi, because they're technically best friends, and it could be a good contrast to, you know, like, look how close these two childhood friends are compared to these other two that are starting to grow distant due to Megumi being way too obsessed with her boy.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of dynamics in this game that would have been interesting to flesh out. Like, Shu Amiguchi has a fair few friendships with other characters that I would have liked to see more of. I would have liked to see more of Keitaro anywhere, because of course I would. Anywhere, because of course I would. Tomi would have been nice, again with Megumi, but also with other characters.
Oh, there's so many things I want to talk to you about.
Aren't you in the middle of practice right now?
Oh,
Here
speaking
comes
of boys,
the boy.
that winking face. He's already got his eye on her.
I've got to get somewhere too. But now, we can see each other anytime.
Totally.
Keep working hard, Nat-chan.
You know it. Later. See you tomorrow, Yuki-chan.
Now contrast her warm-toned
Yuki-chan.
Natsuno
An
to this.
instant frown. Just
Because he called her that.
Yep.
Like, no one gets to call her Yuki-chan but Natsuno.
So you're finally here.
Oh, Shu, you are not making a good introduction.
Nat-chan, my childhood friend. We went our separate ways in middle school, but we still kept writing to each other. She's the only person I really care about.
I believe that.
Don't call me that. I don't like being called by my name.
But I just heard.
I didn't ask your
Yeah,
opinion.
but
Shut up.
Yeah, but you're not Natsuno, Shu.
Also,
I didn't ask your opinion. Shut up.
I love when tsunderes actually get to be cute. A lot of them are just
Yes.
fucking abusive and, like, horrible.
They're annoying. That's the problem. For most anime, for example, I cannot stand tsunderes. I can count on my hand how many tsunderes I've liked in anime.
Yeah, I can only
'Cause-
think of a few that I actively like, and most of them are men, because guess what? You can't get away with writing an abusive male tsundere,
Yep.
so they have to actually try and make them likable and interesting. Shocker. Other than that, I really like Rin Tosaka from the Fate series, because while Rin Tosaka is very critical of the protagonist Shiro, just about every single time she's right. Like, just she's correct. Shiro
Yeah.
is in the wrong. So it's not, like, annoying there. If anything, she's the one that's not annoying. Yeah, we should
Yeah, that
continue.
makes sense. Yeah, no worries. I mean, again, topic of tsunderes.
It's
Yeah,
fine if it's
I get
her.
you. Yeah, technically Yuki is one, but she's not pulling a tsundere to be for the sake of being annoying or being antagonist. She is a tough girl who has kind of had to fend for herself. She doesn't really like people. She shows that very clearly. It's not that I don't like this boy, Baka. Like, no, she doesn't like anyone.
Yeah.
I didn't
she's
ask your
cold.
opinion. Shut up. It's fine if it's her.
Exactly. She's cold to everyone. So, and like it, she's headstrong. She's spunky. She stands up for herself in the 80s, where she kind of has to, where most girls kind of get pushed around, and she's learned to not be that. Where her, as we'll get into later, due to her father, she probably had to toughen up. Like, there's reasons for why she acts the way she does, and it's consistent and it makes sense. And the voice acting just really sells it. I like Yuki. She's great.
My mic is picking up noise somewhere. What is the deal? Let me...
No worries. I mean, I can keep talking a little bit to try to fill it. Yeah, because what I want to talk about is like upcoming, because well, I guess not to spoil what will happen in 10 seconds, but Nenji's about to come up and really show that just how defensive Yuki is around kind of men that antagonize her. it shows how no nonsense she is about, how they approach her in all sorts of ways. She is putting up such a barrier, around them. And it's all those, that she doesn't care what they think about her. She doesn't care if they don't find her cute, or that her attitude is off-putting. She does what she does. She is not looking for their approval or anything. And it's coding like that makes me think, no, that's a lesbian. She is not, being tough out of insecurity. She is being tough because she doesn't care what they think. There is a very distinct difference. To use a random example of a character I know you don't like, but just because it's a good comparison, take Chie from Persona 4. She also... Let me use this example. I'm going somewhere. When it comes to how antagonist she is around boys, that comes out of insecurity for how they see her and how they feel about her, and she reacts very violently to it because she cares how they see her. It is very clear she cares how they see her, and it comes out in very negative ways. Yuki does not care about how they see her. So, despite Chie and Yukiko clearly being very much couple-coded, I would say Chie is not full-on lesbian. She is too insecure about how men see her. She clearly likes men. It is in some way or form. Yuki doesn't. Not at all. There's a distinct difference. You can be violent out of insecurity, and you can be violent out of I don't care what you think.
Okay, I think I have fixed everything, so let's continue.
Alright, no worries. I think I filled the time at least. Okay.
Thank you.
You remember me, right?
I don't know. Who are you again?
I love the thought cloud betraying her. We know she absolutely remembers, but she's just pretending not to.
She doesn't want to give him that satisfaction, and she doesn't want to deal with him.
How about the guy you were destined to meet?
More like a random guy I bumped into in the shopping district. Don't get all weird about it.
She's having none of this.
Aw, you're so cruel, Yuki-chan.
I said quit calling me that.
You're only pushing her away more. She has little,
Amiguchi.
little patience for guys as is. I don't think she has patience for guys that flirt at her.
So, we can pretty easily confirm that Amiguchi wants someone who will just take charge, yeah?
Yeah.
He wants the control taken away from him.
I can see that.
Also, Nenji.
Hello, Nenji.
I love Shu and Nenji together. They're another one that I wish we got to see more of, because I think they have potential. I have fanfic ideas for the two of them, but whether those will see the light of day, I'm unsure.
Yeah, because apparently they're middle school friends. Her tone.
Nenji Ogata.
The hell? Well. If it isn't Takamiya of Suzu High. What are you doing on our turf? Not trying to stake a claim, are you?
She just transferred here, actually.
I may
also,
as well.
I like how Shu's immediately defending her.
Yeah, I may as well mention it now.
Rich kid won't stop following me around.
Sorry, what was that?
I may as well mention it now since we did in the last recording. I do love. I think I mentioned this, that in a weird way, with how antagonist Nenji is being to Yuki, that's him kind of respecting her strength and general nature as a delinquent, despite her being a girl. He doesn't put her down like you're tough for a girl or anything. No, he knows how much of a troublemaker delinquent she is, and he talks to her as such. He does not put her down because he knows she doesn't mess around. And it's such a small detail, but that's such a good way of really putting respect on Yuki as a character from the game itself. It's just that No, if you use that kind of language around Yuki, you are going to be flattened on the ground with bruises all over your face. She is not She's not here for that nonsense.
Nenji truly believes in gender equality because he doesn't care what parts you have, he'll assault you.
A delinquent is a delinquent, and that's...
Whether he's punching you in the dick or punching you in the fucking vag.
Like, heck, I mean, when it came to Shu's prologue, Yuki was being, harassed by a bunch of guys, like, aren't you a troublemaking girl? And like, yeah, they didn't care that she was a girl, like, they just cared that she was a troublemaking delinquent because they know her reputation. Like, Yuki's so cool, I love her.
Some flirty rich kid who won't stop following me around. He seems to be close friends with a gang leader at Sakura. Built up a reputation as a tough guy. All the way back in middle school, actually. Every delinquent around here knows who he is.
The transfer, huh? You got the wrong uniform on, sweetheart.
Ooh! Ooh, that is a rough... That's...
I love the delivery on that too.
You got the wrong uniform on, sweetheart.
The sweetheart at the end being so mocking. It's so good. I love it.
That is one of the most insulting things you can say to a girl in that tone. Like, straight up. Like, ouch. Yikes,
it's
that
just
digs
because
deep.
that damn Four Eyes made a mistake.
And because of that, she's kind of lost her ground. Now she's being a little bit more flustered and less headstrong, because like she's losing her ground with that comment. And poor Yuki.
Obviously. Don't want to go around wearing those girly skirts anyhow.
I actually really like how Yuki wears a very long skirt. I think it's really cool for distinguishing character design, and it means that, I don't know, there's just, I feel like a lot of anime games are afraid to cover the legs.
Yeah, it's nothing about, I guess you could say, it's nothing about censorship or like, what, is like you're afraid to show the girls from skin. It's like, it's not about I'm trying to think of the right way to word it. Like, it's not about being afraid to have pretty girls in your game. It's more so what clothing style reflects the character the best, because some characters can really own having short skirts or, tight shirts, and some girls not so much. It just doesn't feel right for their personality and how they would dress this way. Like, some girls own it better than others, and I do like that Yuki's saying like, no, I don't like short skirts, I much prefer this long one. And that is what it is. It's not about like, well, let's get you in a short skirt, Yuki, because that's clearly what you need to do. Like, no, she doesn't want to. And that's contrasted very well by Natsuno, who just wears these really short running shorts, and she doesn't mind. It works for her. She's flexible. She's athletic. And yeah, and Yuki's more a tough girl who doesn't want to appeal to a lot of the guys around her. It's like, nah.
Seems kind of weird if you ask me. A transfer at this time of year?
Maybe that's just how it happened for her.
Or maybe she's trying to pull some shit.
Hey, just lay off already.
God, everyone just masters the tone with the delivery of this game.
But why'd she come here of all places?
Why here?
Nenji's not wrong for thinking something suspicious, but with a little bit of hindsight that I'm appreciating a bit more now, a lot of the people that Yuki talks to antagonize her, and Shu doesn't do that at all. Like, there's probably very few people that come to Yuki's defense because they either find her off or they're directly challenging her, and Shu doesn't do that at all.
Yeah, Shu and Natsuno are like the only two.
So that is kind of points in Shu's and Yuki's dynamic, in that he doesn't judge her for it. If anything, he finds it very attractive. And that's why he's like, hey, lay off, because he doesn't like seeing all these people be so antagonistic to her, and she doesn't flinch at it. She's used to it. And I really think they could have leaned in on that more. Now that I'm looking at it that way, like, I do think their dynamic and even ship has potential if Yuki came around to Shu more over time. It's just kind of a shame that didn't really happen because it is there. The groundwork's there.
Shu was just like, please, for the love of God, bully me, Yuki. Please. Pretty much.
Go on then.
Anyway, this scene.
I've been waiting for you.
Onishi the Ogre is Jiraiya, isn't he? Like Naruto's Jiraiya.
Well, it's also Shido, so.
Go on then.
Oh god.
You're dismissed.
We pointed this out in
I'd like to
Iori's
speak
route
with
that
her
it's the
alone.
voice of Shido.
Yeah, well, you can't exactly blame me for not wanting to remember the contents of Iori's route. Especially since we recorded it how many months ago?
You know, that's fair. It's, again, I have a impulse to recognize these voices so in depth as much as I do.
I'd like to speak with her alone.
So we haven't gotten too much Tetsuya Ida screen time. And I like that this is one of the routes where we start to get to see a bit more of him. Along with Shu's, which is a nice parallel.
He's very much a character they introduce gradually, which really fed into my denial that he and the adult Shu
Yuki
we see in
Takamiya, 16 years old.
flashbacks were the same person.
Yuki Takamiya, 16 years old. A first year at Suzugamine Girls High School. Entered a boys' school and engaged multiple delinquents, 12 of which were sent to the hospital. Your reputation precedes you.
Okay, so from last time, this is an instance where we don't want to keep talking, we want to do the memory first.
I went to Nigakuri to settle a score. And somehow the cops managed to sniff me out. One of those dicks must have snitched.
You seem a little tense. Allow me to get to the point. We've taken notice of your particular set of skills. We'd like to work with you.
Seriously?
This is such a good contrast, especially from the scene we just had with Shiomaguchi.
Any of those Kuri boys end up dead?
3 had bone fractures, the others just bruises and scrapes.
That's too bad. Got something to say? They're the ones who laid their filthy hands on my friend. All I did was give them what they had coming. None of your
they
damn
deserve
business
that.
anyways.
Yeah, I'm with Yuki
And by
on this
that,
one.
you
They
mean
deserve
selling
that.
out my friends? I'm not gonna be your stooge, and I don't work with cops. Go find some other sucker.
Your father, Heita Takamiya, currently serving a sentence for the murder of a gang member.
Yeah? So what?
There have been attempts on his life by other inmates. Not surprising, since the man he killed was a gang leader. I imagine it's a matter of reputation for them. Your father has been assaulted twice, but he is alive. For now. Now, if we were so inclined...
Oh, the smile on his face, it's so punchable.
You can hear the smirk in his voice.
It would be quite easy to transfer him to a safer facility. Contingent
can
on
hear
your
it.
cooperation, of course.
God, I hate you already.
Girl, same. Same? Oh, he is
She's
so fun to hate.
He really is. Like, he basically is this game antagonist, and he's so good at it. Like, as in the antagonist role, Tetsuya Ida is phenomenal at it. Like, he's easy to hate, he's got a punchable face, and he's also got a really good, I guess you could say, emotional backstory, and yet
And
you can
also,
see why.
And also, he's hot. Because I have to be that guy. I have to be that guy. I like a good villain. That being said, sometimes I just really can't find a villain attractive. Like, I'm that guy that sees absolutely nothing in Miguel O'Hara from Spider-Verse 2.
You're cutting out a bit.
Oh?
At least just on my end. You probably sound fine in the recording.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that just cannot get into Miguel O'Hara from Spider-Verse 2.
Well, can't get into him as a villain, or can't get into him,
like, attractively,
physically.
I mean.
Fair enough.
Because I just see him too much as the villain. But I mean, also...
art of him to...
But also, my homosexual awakening was a literal psychotic serial bomber. So...
It's okay.
Hi, Nagito Kamida.
It's okay, mine was a slutty angel, and I love her.
On to business, then. Are you familiar with Shikishima Industries? Publicly, they manufacture a wide range of products. Rockets, planes, trains, ships, even home appliances. Not so publicly, it seems they're also developing nuclear weapons. We suspect they are colluding with another nation to do so.
And what does that have to do with me?
We began investigating and found that several minors are connected to these weapons. All of these children are of high school age and are being rounded up at a school affiliated with Shikishima.
He's behind bars for stabbing a Yakuza. Maybe he's nothing but a two-bit gangster, but he's the only real family I have.
I have to wonder if he's in jail for murder, and she's going through all this trouble to keep her dad alive. That means he's not in jail for a death sentence. Makes me wonder how long he's jailed for. But I guess that's details that don't really matter. Because fun fact, Japan does not have life. It's like life. Prison life penalties. It's either a number of years or the death penalty. But that's neither here nor there.
It's that company with all those commercials for TVs and fridges. So they're making weapons too? Weapons and children. So they're using kids to make nuclear weapons? This shit sounds ridiculous.
Kids are easy to take advantage of, unfortunately. As
Before we get into the specifics
see a lot
of
in
the job,
Tetsuya Ida's story.
Do you have any questions for me?
If you bastards got that much dirt on him, why don't you just bust into Shikishima yourselves?
We'd prefer not to have this go public, and the less the police are involved, the better.
Wait, if you're not the cops, then who the hell are you guys?
We are a special investigations unit. Government established and affiliated. Some might call us spies. I am director of the SIU, and your superior.
Really giving her no room to budge, like, I am your superior.
And then the way he also says, Ryoko, and your superior. Like,
Yep.
I like the sort of... I don't know if rhyme is the right word, but sort of repeating the same sort of idea into the head of Yuki.
Yeah, there's a word for it, it's failing me.
He says there's
Petition,
some spy agency.
callback.
It's short for Special Investigations Unit. They may not be cops, but they're honestly all the same to me.
That's fair.
Okay, but when are Yuki and Persona 3's Katone going to go around and smash cops together?
Oh, now that's the spin-off we need. Do it, Atlus.
Alright, so they're making weapons. But what do these kids have to do with it?
I'm glad to see I've piqued your interest. Take a look at those documents on the table. It's a list of their names.
And now she's holding the papers. Peak visual novel, ladies and gentlemen. Because it's not a fucking visual novel.
Class 1B,
It really
Mori
isn't.
Fuyusaka. Class 2A, Renya Goto. More Class 1, Kisaragi, Karabe. Class 1C, Natsuno Minami.
We need someone to investigate these students. And that someone is you, Yuki Takamiya.
So manipulative.
But why her?
Gosh, she's such a disgustingly good villain. Speaking of manipulation...
Who's this?
Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss.
Allow me to introduce you. This is Ryoko Shinonome. She is another undercover investigator, and your superior.
And your
Just as
superior.
she did, you'll be transferring to Sakura High School. We'll handle the paperwork.
Look at this girl who is superior. See how loyal she is to everything I tell her. Like, really rubbing it in.
Also, just like to mention that these are the two characters that Tetsuya Ida has romantic vibes with for most of the game. Because Miyuki Inaba, a lot of the romance of that is quite late in the game. That takes a while to reveal, but yeah. Ryoko and Yuki are both characters that have romantic-esque relationships with a version of Tetsuya Ida.
Technically, yes.
And both of them are being manipulated. Meanwhile,
manipulated hard.
Miyuki Inaba is the one that doesn't get manipulated. Rather, Miyuki Inaba sort of suffers for other reasons.
She doesn't get manipulated exactly, but she does get strung along and see his kind of descent into really, really insidious mean.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, pump your brakes, you old man. I haven't agreed to any of this shit yet. They got dirt on you too, Dopey?
Is she the one?
Yes, she is.
Hey, I'm talking to you.
She doesn't look like she knows much.
Really hammering it in.
I can already tell I'm not gonna like you.
You have quite the abrasive personality.
That's what we love about her. When he turns, you can see the glare in his glasses. Oh my goodness, that's such a good detail.
Oh, I love that.
That is so good. I never knew that. It's probably because of the sunset lighting of this too. I wonder if that does it in more dim lighting. Wonder if that happens to other characters with glasses. We'll have to test it. I've had enough of this. I'm out.
We're not finished. Do you accept your assignment?
I don't give a shit about your assignment.
You tell him, Yuki.
Well then, I think it's safe to say we're not getting through to her.
Don't worry. She will work with us. It's her destiny, after all.
He's so manipulative. He's such a monster. I love it. Gosh, he's such a good antagonist. Poor Yuki.
No sign of her today, either. Where are you, Nat-chan?
And the setup that not Megumi.
Churro.
What happens
Focus,
if
girl.
we
We
ju-
need.
Hey, you!
I don't think Jiro will come out unless
Got
you
a
talk
sec?
to her. I was trying to snap like,
You're in class
Megami,
1C.
focus. Enough of the boy.
Let's try and maybe replay it in the mystery files and see if there is anything.
That right?
Okay.
Yes. Why do you ask?
Well... Natsuno Minami's in your class, isn't she?
Oh, yeah. She's been out for 3 days now.
Have you heard anything?
The teacher just said she was out sick.
Did they hear from her directly?
I don't know.
Sorry for bothering you.
And he's gone. That's all she can focus on, because that girl has it bad
No
and
one at the
needs a
school
wake-up
seems
call.
to know anything. I hope Natsuno-chan's okay. What should we do?
Stop by Natsuno-chan's house again?
Oh hey, cute
Those weird
boys.
guys might still be there, though.
Ooh, very cute haircuts.
Hey, you.
Anyway.
Got a sec? Hey, sorry to butt in, but... I heard you talking about Natsuno Minami.
Hi, Ryoko.
Ryoko.
Who are you?
Takamiya, but that's beside the point. I want to know what's going on with Natsuno. Why hasn't she been coming to school?
It sounds like she hasn't been at home either. We went to her house yesterday, but her mom just kept apologizing over the intercom. The police were there too. Were they really the police, though?
Well, that's worrying. Thanks for letting me know.
Something I'm picking up on a little bit.
Did I keep you waiting? It's okay. Let's get
Natsuno is very, very commonly referred by a lot of characters by her first name,
What are you doing?
which really speaks to how friendly she is with everyone else, and how a lot of people are on friendly terms with her, that they can comfortably use her first name freely, compared to Yuki, who's like, I'm Takamiya, don't call me Yuki. She prefers everyone calls her Takamiya because she's a lot more colder. People don't use her first name as freely, and that's such a contrast compared to Natsuno, who the majority of people do use her first name.
Nat-chan hasn't been at home either. And those cops, or whatever they are, what were they doing there? What's
Sorry,
your
I just like those
problem?
details.
You remember your orders, don't you? You're supposed to keep a low profile.
Yeah, but screw the orders.
I can't recall.
Oh boy.
Exactly.
A character voiced by Kira Buckland that focuses on orders and is emotionally detached and has very weird relationships with people. Hi 2B from Nier Automata.
And who also pulls a gun on A Sekigahara, voiced by Kyle McCartney, voice of 9S.
Yep. Man, I really need to sit down and do the story of Nier Automata.
I'd give it another try. I don't know if you'd necessarily like 9S properly,
Oh,
but
I
I do
don't.
think you'd at least. But I do think maybe you'd be at least be a little less hard on him on another playthrough, even if he's never going to speak to you. You know?
Maybe you've forgotten about your father, too.
What did you say?
One more thing. Don't go looking for Natsuno Minami.
What?
Yeah, that's not happening. Good luck, Ryoko.
You mean... Those guys they thought were the police.
They're agents with the SIU. In any case, Natsuno Minami isn't your concern. She's a part of my assignment. So stay out of my way.
You know,
Are we
it's almost a
clear?
little hypocritical of Ryoko to tell Yuki, follow orders, don't be a problem, when Ryoko basically never follows orders herself. She acts purely on her emotions and does what she wants to.
Yep.
So it's kind of a bit of a hypocritical to pull this on Yuki, and maybe likely intentionally, because Ryoko is a hypocrite. This game makes that very clear.
Yeah, Ryoko is definitely interesting morally. Especially when you look at the 2188 version of her, like, girl.
That is the version I kinda understand the least. I understand the more, mixed morality of this Ryoko a bit more. Mostly because she's young and easy to manipulate, and just she's got a lot going on. Personally, I don't get the hate around Ryoko. I kind of like that she's a moral mess.
Hey! Hold on!
Nope, she's out.
What could have happened to Nat-chan? I bet that four-eyed bastard has some answers. Time to do what I do best.
Interrogate.
This is unacceptable.
God, this game is so fucking pretty. Like, every part of this game is so fucking pretty. The sprites, the backgrounds, the foregrounds, the way that stuff gets layered, the lighting. Everything about this game is so gorgeous. And it's even better when you have very, very, very legal 4K and upscaling.
I look forward to seeing the footage when it is on the channel, because yeah, the footage so far has been very, very pretty. Also, I did want to point out, I'm actually seeing a intentional contrast between how Ryoko, working for Ida, will do whatever he says without question, contrasted to Yuki, who is unacceptably difficult, as to quote him right here. It's like, no, she is not Ryoko. She is not going to be, you are not going to manipulate another teenage girl so easily. This one is having none of this.
I thought I made it clear that you are not to contact me.
I need to know what happened to Natsuno Minami, and I know you have answers.
Teenagers run away from home all the time.
That's what the police say, but the school insists she's out sick. Looks like nobody can get their story straight. So which is it, huh? I'm not an idiot, you know.
Calling him out directly. Gosh, I love Yuki so much.
Your suspicions are not unfounded, but our investigation is still ongoing. I don't have a clear answer myself. We don't know where she is, or even if she's still alive. The evidence so far points to kidnapping.
Who the hell would want to kidnap her? Shikishima?
They could have done it without anyone realizing she was gone. There'd be no need to draw such attention to themselves. No. Someone else is behind this.
I appreciate that we can very easily believe that even Tetsuya Ida doesn't know, because obviously he's not the one behind it, and he would really want to know where all of the compatibles are. Him not knowing where the compatibles are is dangerous for his plans.
Yeah, exactly.
Is Discord, like, eating me up or something? Because
Yeah,
OBS is
a bit.
picking me up fine.
Yeah, occasionally Discord will just cut out words when you speak. Like, I can more or less piece them together, but
Why
yeah.
the fuck is noise suppression on? Stop turning on noise suppression automatically. I don't want it.
That explains it. No worries, no worries. I've more or less been able to put together what you're saying. I mean, hey, at least it's coming through in the recording. We fixed all of those with our troubles before. We're getting a clean, high-quality recording. Discord cannot screw us up now. But yeah, I guess to go back to a line that Ida just said, just like with, if it was Shikishima, he's like, no, Shikishima kidnapped her, no one would realize she was gone. Like, well, that's not terrifying.
And that's who Shinonome is looking for?
This is the company that, you know, will fund the nanomachines and all of that, so...
Shikishima kind of destroyed the world.
Yeah. As corporations tend to do.
Someone at the school could be behind this. It's possible they are there even now. In any case, the situation is dangerous.
Someone at the school. I wonder if that's Big Titty Nurse GF.
I suggest you keep your nose out of it. Shinonome-kun has this under control.
Shinonome-kun's why
As
this
for you,
happened.
Takamiya-kun, you will continue to monitor the other students as instructed. Have I made myself clear?
Screw that.
To be continued.
Interesting. He's using the more professional honorific with them, referring to them as younger with Kun, rather than the more casual Chan. Like, really shows how detached he is from... He's like these, from all these kids.
Okay, here we have a long mystery file. Yuki Takamiya is a skilled Sukeban girl, infamous across many schools as Takamiya of Suzu High. She's devoted to her friends, has a strong sense of justice, and is quick to get into fights. Natsuno Minami is a childhood friend of hers, and though they were separated for a while, she's still her best friend and one of the only people she can feel truly at home with. Tetsuya Ida, the head of the SIU, blackmails her and asks her to infiltrate Jiro Kurabe's high school. Sukeban is a term originating in the 1970s to describe delinquent girls, deriving from the combination of another slang term, suke, a now antiquated way to refer to women, and ban from bancho, which refers to a leader of a gang of delinquents. However, sukeban was used to describe any girl that was a delinquent, not just the leaders. I really like that they include an extended, what is effectively a translator's note. I think
literally a translator's note.
I think that's the best way to handle stuff like sukeban, where you want to include the term but need to explain it.
Yeah. I think I went on this in our first recording, but this very much reminds me of kind of earlier translation notes in that manga and sometimes anime used to have, because we were still establishing what terms to keep because we have no equivalents for them, and what terms to kind of be lost in translation. And that was a very educational period, because that's how we got, that's why we keep honorifics like kun, chan, senpai. And nowadays in localizations for manga, anime, and games, we have those terms firmly established of what English audiences know from the kind of the Japanese language, with honorifics and expressions, and what we don't know. And it's interesting that for this, they made the conscious choice that no, there is no equivalent to what this word means. It's very much Yuki is very much written around what this term is. Like, you can feel like her whole character was written around this 80s term, and like, we need to include it, and we will explain to them what it means. And that's just not something you see in localizations nowadays, and I really like it. I really like it.
Okay, but are your Nakama proceeding according to Kokaku?
That's exactly what I mean. We were still figuring out what terms should be translated and what should not.
Special Investigations Unit Office. A room on the 5th floor of the government building in Aoi Ward. Tetsuya Ida's office. And nothing else. Okay. So, if we want to look at all events... Special Investigations Unit. So this scene is number 72. So this is the earliest scene in her timeline so far. I think the earliest in general.
Yeah, it is. It's earlier. Of course it's earlier than Nat-chan and Yuki-chan, because that's the scene that moves her to school.
Then what we can safely assume is like the next day or something. She meets Shu, and Shu's prologue happens. Then we get Iori heading to the science room and trying to meet up with Sekigahara because fucking Iori. Then we get Nat-chan's second scene, and tons of Natsuno and Miura. And then much later we get Nat-chan's Gone and Keep Your Nose Out, where we get to see Nat-chan is missing by this point. But this has to take place before Kyutoshiba. So this is pretty much just before the halfway point of the game. This is like the last thing that happens in the second half, because most of the rest of this will be Yuki's storyline.
I wonder if that means that scene where Yuki's talking to Megami is before Megami even moves in, because she's not allowed to talk to Juro. She's waiting for him, she's watching him, but yeah, maybe. I think it's before she moves in. We'd have to check the timeline.
And if we go to Yuki, yep, all of these early scenes are now filled. And there's like 2 things that happen before this, and lots of stuff. Okay. we do have more of her available. So,
Very excited.
we're going to record more of her next time. Do we have any final thoughts?
Well, it's good to finally record these episodes again. I'm hoping we can do them more consistently again, because I love this story. I love talking about the story. I love talking about these characters. And it's always just fun to really appreciate more and more of this game on retrospective. Like, honestly, this is a game that deserves to be played twice. It doesn't matter if you know all the twists and everything. No, play it twice. You will love a lot of scenes way more.
Yeah, this game is much, much better when it's played twice. And we really need to try and record more, since we're only barely a quarter of the way through the game.
Yeah, we did all of that, and we didn't even get the story or remembrance up a percentage. It was 27 before, and it's still 27 now.
Yeah, we're barely a quarter of the way through the game, and Jesus Christ, we've been recording since like February.
The last, I think the last quarter or the last fifth of the game, the stories actually fly by kind of faster, so, you know, it's not as much as it looks like, but it's still a lot.
It's still a lot. We really need to try and do this more consistently, which I would love to do.
Absolutely. It should be easier now, since our schedules should line up a bit more.
But with that, we are going to wrap it up for today. Thank you everyone for watching. We hope to catch you in the next episode. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons and smash that notification bell. Otherwise, your subscription won't subscribe you. Because I love YouTube. Remember when subscriptions meant something?
That was years ago. I've forgotten that time.
Yep.
That's when the YouTube gods answered our prayers. They don't do that anymore.
But it's rewind time.
Oh no!
Anyway, yeah, thank you all for watching. Drop a comment in the description. Bleh. Drop a comment in the comment section, letting us know what you think. It boosts the algorithm, and it boosts discussion for this game, and ultimately, that's what I started this series to do. I wanted something for the franchise, I wanted something for the fan base to sort of boost discussion, because this is a really, really quiet fandom, and it makes me sad, because I wish we had spaces to talk about it more. That's why a spoiler commentary is great, because it means we can discuss spoilers freely, and we won't have to worry about spoiling it for other brand new people.
I mean, for what it's worth, that Keitaro Miura commentary, the 2-hour one, is actually doing pretty well view-wise compared to a lot of other episodes.
Yeah, the 2.5 hours. I set it to my YouTube main channel video, and I set it to the pinned tweet on my Twitter as well. So it's probably helping. Let's check, how is it doing view-wise? Damn,
Last I checked,
it's got like
53.
59 views compared to everything else doing significantly worse.
Oh, we got 6 more views than the last time I checked. I checked just a couple hours ago.
So that makes it, I mean, wow, a fair amount of Umineko is doing better actually. But it is the second most viewed 13 Sentinels analysis, only behind the very first video, which is fairly understandable.
I mean, yeah. But yeah, with that, we should probably wrap this one up.
Yes, we really should. Thank you all for watching. We will catch you in the next one. This is Hamburger Chariot and Mirtha Mauser signing out. See you, everybody.
We'll see you then.